let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start in a tall seated position. And we'll just start with a couple of nice deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And continue that deep breathing. Good morning again, everybody. Good morning, Facebook, just joining us. And thank you again, everybody, for joining our Sunday morning Pilates. Taking a couple of nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And one more. And on your next breath, or before your next breath, bring your right hand high up on your rib cage. Let your left hand fall heavy to the floor behind you. Right ear to right shoulder, so you feel a little bit of a pull on the left side of your neck. And we'll take a couple of deep breaths in here. Back to center and switch left hand up, right hand heavy to the floor behind you, left ear to left shoulder. And take a couple deep breaths in. Gaze is forward still, so your ear is to your shoulder, but your gaze should still be forward. Coming back to center on our next inhale. Going to reach up long with the right hand. And exhale, twist left hand to right knee. Really bring out that spine. Think about twisting out a towel. Nice twist. And again, inhale, reach with the right. And exhale, twist. Couple more here. Inhale and reach. And exhale, twist. And then switching sides on your next inhale, reach up the left hand. And exhale, twist. Inhale, reach. And exhale, twist. And last one. And coming back up to center, I'm going to turn on my mat. So if you're on a regular yoga mat, your feet are going to be about mat width apart. Otherwise, just wider than hip width. You're going to work the muscles of your legs to press them down onto the mat. Ankles are flexed, toes pointed back towards you. And inhale, reach your hands up to shoulder height. And exhale, out past opposite little toe. Inhale up tall. And exhale out to the opposite side. Inhale up tall. Make sure those legs are pressed down. you exhale out, think about hollowing out your belly as you exhale and reach. One more each side. Back to center. And bring my feet together. We're going to be rolling all the way back, so make sure that you're sitting somewhere where you won't crash into something behind you. Legs are still pressed down, ankles flexed, the whole time working to keep those legs down and active. Inhale, reach your hands forward, and then exhale, slowly roll down onto the mat. So I want you to imagine placing your spine down one vertebrae at a time, resisting the whole way down. Deep breath in at the bottom. And exhale. Slowly back up. And you can reach all the way forward if you like, keeping your legs down or as far forward as you can. And then again, slowly roll back. Do a couple more of these. Resisting the whole way down. And last one. And then I'm going to come on down on the mat. Make sure to have your pillow close at hand. Actually, I'm going to start. Let's go ahead and start with the pillow between your knees. So bring your feet pretty close together. You don't necessarily need them touching, but slightly narrower maybe than hip width. Squeeze your knees in as you roll your pelvis forward and back. So we're working on a couple different things here. Working on the inner thigh muscles as you squeeze in, and working to start really engaging the core as you do those pelvic tilts, pressing your low back down onto the mat and then allowing it to come up. Keep squeezing the whole time. 2 more tilts. And press that low back down. And then as long as we have that pillow there, let's go ahead and do 3 squeezes and then hold for a 4 count. So keeping your low back pressed down, keeping your core braced in, 3 squeezes, and then hold on that 4th for a 4 count. Low back pressed down the whole time. Release. Again, low back pressed down, 3 squeezes, 2, 3, and on that 4th, I'm going to hold for a 4 count. 3, 4, and release. Keep your low back pressed down. Belly button pulled down to your spine, and do that again. 3 squeezes, and hold for a 4 count. And continue that. 3 squeezes, it's your count. And hold, make sure that you're breathing, don't hold your breath. Couple more. Last one. then I'm going to place that pillow out between my ankles and bring legs up into tabletop, which is knees stacked over hips, shins parallel to the floor, and ankles flexed. Open your arms out to about shoulder height down on the floor. Any low back issues here, you're going to go ahead and put the pillow back between your knees, feet back down on the floor before you do this. Otherwise, legs in tabletop, hands out, and you'll drop your knees out to one side. Gaze turns in the opposite direction. Your arms are out to help stabilize. And again, gaze turns in the opposite direction. Legs in tabletop. Keep those shins parallel to the floor or 90-degree bend to your knees. And ankles flexed. One more each side. Back to center. You're going to tuck that pillow in under your knees. So squeezing it between your calves and your hamstrings, toes pointed down. Your hands can come down to a little closer into your sides. You're always welcome to have them out further if you feel like you need that additional stability. I'm going to bring mine in a little bit closer, and I'm going to turn my palms up to the sky. I feel like that allows my chest and my shoulders to open and relax. Keeping my low back pressed down, I'm going to tap my toes down, keep that pillow squeezed in, tap my toes down, and back up. Last one like this. Coming back into center. From here, we're going to raise our hips up off the floor. So nice and controlled movement. You don't want to jerk your hips up. You don't want this in your back. You want this controlled with your center, with your belly. Raising your hips up, bringing your knees in towards your chest. And then slowly tapping your toes back down. And again, slowly raising up. Controlled movement. And your hips might just barely raise up off the mat, but you're still doing the work to lift up, working the muscles in the center of your belly. A little reverse crunch. Last one. And go ahead and set that pillow down, hug your knees in. I'm going to give it a little side to side roll. And then going into our single leg stretch. So hugging my knees in, I'm going to raise my chest and shoulders up towards the ceiling, extend my left leg out, and on my inhale, switch, and pull that knee in. Switch, exhale to pull in. Keeping your chest up to the sky. Think pushing up to the ceiling rather than rolling forward. One more each side. And release down, hugging those knees in. I'm going to open my hands out a little bit wider again, palms down on the floor, legs straight up overhead. We're going to go into a little bit of a windshield wiper. So controlled movement through the obliques. Drop your legs, start dropping your legs down and out to the right side. You're not going to torso twist though. You're still going to keep them more or less overhead. Engaging the obliques to slow and control that movement. Again, not a torso twist. We're not coming all the way down. And your arms are out for stability and to give you that base of support, but try not to grip the floor. Your arms are out there, but still try to be somewhat relaxed and not tensed up through your upper body. Couple more. Bring your knees back into center. And let's go into our single straight leg stretch. So again, from knees hugged in, I'm going to raise my chest and shoulders up towards the ceiling, extend my left leg out straight, and then reach my right leg up straight. Inhale to switch, exhale as I pull in. And then let's do 2 tugs. So increase that stretch a little bit, 2 tugs each leg. One more each side. And release, hug your knees in. Again, raising your legs straight up overhead. Arms out to the sides for stability. And I'm going to do little crisscrosses at the ankle. So starting pointing straight up at the ceiling. Low back is pressed down, belly button pulled down towards the spine. And then I'm going to start lowering my legs down towards the floor. Only going so far down as I can keep my low back pressed down. So really bracing in that center, pushing down, and then start to come back up. So I want to challenge you this morning, as you're lowering down, find that place where you feel like, okay, I can't go any further down, or my low back will lift up, and then hold there. Hold there and do a couple of those crisscrosses and then start to lower back or to raise back up. And again. So find that end point and work there. What is it I used to say in TRX class? Get comfortable being uncomfortable for a moment. I think that definitely applies here. We're going to do one more. Down. Find that end range. And we crisscross a few times down there and then start to raise back up. And release, hug your knees in. And then I'm going to grab my pillow again. Place it out again between my ankles. And we'll do a little variation on a double leg stretch. Actually, let's go ahead and do two different double leg stretches. So starting with knees tucked in. Raise your chest and shoulders up towards the ceiling. I'm going to deep breath in as I'm hugging in, and then exhale, reach out opposite. Hollow hold, and then sweep my arms back around, hug my knees in. So just adding a little different dynamic to having that pillow out there. Having to squeeze your legs together a little bit. Maybe feeling the weight of the pillow. Not that pillows are heavy, but when you put it out at the end of your legs like that, you might feel it a little bit. Couple more. Last one. And release down for just a moment. You can set that pillow aside. Hug your knees in, little side to side rolls. And then again, place that pillow out between your ankles. And we're going to straight legs, lift it up. Working to stack your legs straight up over your hips to start. Low back is pressed down. I'm going to reach my hands up to stack over my shoulders to start. On my inhale, lower down. So hollow hold again, but starting from the center. Exhale, come up, straight legs, lift up, take a hold of that pillow between your hands. And again, out into a hollow hold. Back up, don't bend your knees. I know it's a lot easier to grab a hold of that pillow if you bend your knees, but that's not what we're doing. So just keep passing back and forth so you get a little upper and lower crunch, lifting hips up. Hollow hold in the center. Again, you're not lowering your feet all the way down to the floor. You're only coming so far down as you can keep your low back pressed down. Last one. And release down into the center. Hugging your knees in. And then let's go into some bicycles. Slow and controlled. Light fingertips at the base of the skull. Raising chest and shoulders up towards the sky. I'm going to extend one leg out as I cross elbow to knee. And really slow it down. Maybe do a 2 count, touching elbow to knee. Last one each side. And release down, hugging knees in. All right, back to that other variation on the straight leg stretch. I'm going to take the pillow again out between my ankles. So this time I'm going to reach both my hands and feet in the same direction. So starting, hugging knees in, deep breath in. And on my exhale, reach out, maybe come up into a V-sit. Inhale back down. And exhale. Reaching out, pushing out with your feet. Inhale back down. And you don't have to sit up. You can just reach, pressing your low back down, reaching fingertips and toes out, back down. Whatever feels right to you this morning. One more. And back down. Set that pillow aside. Hug your knees in. All right, and then just another little variation on that bicycle cross. I'm going to start with my left hand down on the floor. Right fingertips light at the base of my skull. Extend my right leg out. So I'm getting into a little bit of a hollow hold here. Low back press down. Extend the left leg out. My chest and shoulders are up towards the sky. And I'm going to come across, right elbow to left knee. Don't come all the way back out though. Tap, 2, 3, and then extend out, hollow hold. And again, so it's a little tap, 2, 3. So pulses in, 1, 2, 3. Holding back open. 2 more of these. Last one, hollow hold in the center. And release. And we'll set it up for the other side. So my right arm is down and out on my right side. Left fingertips light at the base of your skull. Extend my right leg out. Low back press down. Leg is active as it's extended out. Left leg out. And then I'm going to come across, left elbow to right knee, tap, 2, 3, and then out into that hollow hold. Come in, tap, 2, 3, back into that hollow hold. Tap, 2, 3, holding out, and again, holding out, 2 more. Last one, 2, 3, holding out, and then release. And hugging those knees in, give it a little side to side roll. All right, and then I'm going to cross my legs, or cross my ankles, cross my legs down at the ankles. Reach down along the outsides and take a hold of the bottoms of my feet. So my legs are crossed, got a hold of the bottoms of my feet, and I'm going to start doing a little forward and back roll. Every time I roll back, I'm going to extend my legs up overhead, and then roll forward, extend up overhead, Roll forward, really working to extend those legs. Couple more. You guys knew it was only just a matter of time before I had you rolling virtually for our Sunday morning class. All right, last one. I see some very good rolls and some very questionable rolls. All right, we're going to come down onto our sides. No more rolling. So you can rest your head on your upper arm or bend your elbow head in hand. And I'm going to start with my feet forward. So my body's in a little bit of a pike here. Raise that top leg up to hip height. And I'm going to sweep it all the way forward. My ankle is flexed, so toes are pointed back towards me. And then back past my center line. Sweep it forward. And back. And continue that. I'm going to move forward just a little bit so I have a little more room to sweep. So again, forward. Keep that ankle flexed, stretching to the back. Keeping the leg up at hip height. Try not to let it drop. And then 2 pulses in the front and 2 pulses back behind. Use those pulses to extend that range of motion a little bit. One more each side. And back together. And then I'm going to bring my top knee forward to rest on the mat. Turn your lower leg so your toes are down, your heel is up. So it would be external rotation. And raise and lower that lower leg. So straight leg. You're not bending at the knee. Just raise and lower, raise and lower. And then 2 pulses at the top. Lower down. 2 pulses. Last one. And then bring both knees forward. Imagining that your back is up against a wall, keeping your feet locked together, and open and close that top knee. So your back is resting against a wall so that you can't tilt back at all. You might find that that makes the movement a little bit smaller, and that's okay. We're going to keep it right in the glutes and not in a spinal twist. Couple more. And then raise both feet up. Again, keeping feet locked together. Open and close that top knee. Couple more. And lower down. And we'll turn over and get the other side. So again, starting where your feet are forward of your torso. Start with that sweep forward and back. So sweep forward and sweep back past center line. Working on your center so your upper body's not wobbling on the mat. It's just nice and strong and steady. And then add in those 2 pulses. Use the pulses to extend your range of motion. Reach back a little further. Reach forward a little further. One more each side. And then bring that top knee forward to rest on the mat in front of you. Your lower leg is going to turn just slightly so your toes are down, heel is up, and then straight leg. Lift and lower. And then 2 pulses at the top, lower down. 2 pulses and lower down. Two more. And then bring both knees forward. So our feet are going to stay together and your back is up against that wall. So you're just opening at the hip, utilizing the glutes, not twisting at the center. And just a few more of these. And then raise your feet up. Again, feet locked together. Open and close that top knee. Two more. All right, and then I'm going to drop it into a quick child's pose. Stretch out those hips. And you can play around with the placement of your feet and knees here and see if you open your hips, your knees out a little bit more, does that allow your hips to sink further back? Maybe try opening your feet as well. And just kind of play with that stretch there. This is for you. There's no right or wrong way here unless it feels wrong, and then don't do it. But really, it's just what's going to give you a nice stretch. Your glutes and your hips and your low back, maybe reaching your fingertips forward. You'll get a stretch through your back and your lats. And then I'm going to come on up. So we're going to start in a high plank. So I'll show you first and then you can join me. So high plank, hands stacked under shoulders. I'm going to start with my right leg. Float the knee straight in, back out, don't touch down. Float across to the left elbow, back out. And continue that. We'll do 4 in a row. So float out, come across, float out, tuck in, out, across. And again, we're doing 4 in a row, floating in between. And after that last one, can come on down, drop it down into that child's pose again. Just for a moment. And we'll do the other side. So again, setting up in that high plank, left leg this time. Tuck the knee into the center, float it out. Come across, float it out, center. Four in a row. And then again, drop it down into that child's pose. And then come on up into all fours. Right leg again. Extend it back out behind you. Take a moment here, make sure that your spine is neutral. So pulling your belly button up towards your spine a little bit, make sure that you're not arching or sagging. Leg extended out. I need to move forward so I don't kick anything. Tap down and out to the left. Big sweep. Tap to the right. Again, tapping out, big sweep, and tap. One more each side. Back to all fours. And again, setting up on the other side. Left leg extending out. Tap out to the right. Big sweep. Tap to the left. This is particularly challenging when you are as tall as your room is long. So sweeping, tap down, sweep. One more each side. And come back to all fours. Go ahead and arch your back up. Nice big arch of the spine. Let your head fall heavy between your arms. Really pulling your belly button up. And then let your spine sag. Belly button is still pulled up though. It's your spine that's sagging, but your front is engaged and pulling up, chin up, chest forward. And then again, arch up. Let your spine sag. Couple more of these. Pulling your belly button up to the sky. Feel like you can almost raise your hands up off the mat. And then chin up, chest forward. Keep pulling that belly button in. One more. And come back to center. One more time, I'm going to drop it down into a child's pose. And walk my hands out to the right. So I'm going to still push my hips back towards my heels, but also reach my fingertips forward so I get a nice stretch through the left side. And then walk the hands back to the center and out to the left. Again, hips back, but fingertips forward. And back to center. And take your time coming up. That's our class. I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye to Facebook Live. Zoom, stay with me.